Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Bob Igo Jr. is our guest. He is a new author. He is the owner and president of North Country Books in downtown Utica. We're talking to him about his new book, My Adirondack Vacations, and I'm looking at the illustration over here, Bob, of that very, let's see if I can hold it so not too much glare, that very attractive young lady there. Is that your daughter?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. When we started putting the book together, it was based on the vacations that my wife Peggy and my daughter Kendra and I had taken through the Adirondacks. And when I met with my illustrator, and she is so talented, all I have to kind of do is lead her in a direction, and she takes over. And since it was our vacations and I wanted to feature a family in it, we decided let's just feature my family. And so in the various locations we were headed to, if I had photos on my phone of us in those different places, I forwarded those all to Maggie. And so a lot of the illustrations are actually from photos that we had taken in those different locations, whether it be at Haas's Country Corner or at the Sagamore Lodge by Racket Lake. Those are pictures of my wife and my daughter and myself. And the places that we didn't have good photos of, I referred Maggie to websites or gave her some key ideas. Okay, in the fort, when we visit one of the forts, I want this to be the illustration that you have. And once all the ideas have been put together for every illustration throughout the book, Maggie then goes through the process of doing what they call a concept sketch, which is a quick pencil sketch that shows whatever action is going to be she's using to illustrate that set of words. Because each page has a verse on it, and each illustration illustrates that verse. And that's how we design and lay out the book. And she comes back with the concept sketches. I review those. Once we have okayed all the concept sketches, then she's ready to go back and do the final illustration. And those are paintings that she does on boards. I think the boards were maybe 8 by 8 or 10 by 10. I don't recall the exact dimension. And from there, once all the paintings are brought into us, we then bring them to our designer who does the scanning on those, and they're ready for the digital to be sent on to a printer.
I'm looking at this particular one here, and it shows Kendra behind a tree and looking at a deer. My guess is that was one of the pictures from your camera, yes?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a lot of fun going back and reviewing photos from many, many, many years that were on my camera phone, I should say, because she's currently 17 and going to be 18 in a couple of weeks and headed off to college. And most of these trips occurred back when she was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, somewhere in that time period. And so the illustrations show her at that age, not her current age. But yeah, it was fun going back and looking through all those photos to make decisions on what to use for the illustrations in the book.
And I know the book has been selling well. I asked you before the show, and you sold something like 450 copies in a couple weeks?
Yeah, in about a week and a half, we had sold about 450 copies. And part of it is because I had been talking about it to my customers for probably about a year now, that it was going to be coming, and they're very supportive of North Country Books, and they've been very supportive of me personally. And so a lot of them say, oh, absolutely, as soon as you get it, we definitely want 5 or we want 10 or whatever the case may be. And so it is right now, it is at stores and shops throughout the Adirondacks, throughout central New York and northern New York. It will be on some of the online booksellers shortly. It takes a little longer for that process to go through, but you will be able to find it at your, whatever your favorite online bookseller is, you should be able to find it there also.
And it sells for $12.99?
$12.95 is the retail price, yeah.
Yep.
And it should do very, very well.
Well, it already has. Somebody who's done some regional books, and I can tell you that anybody that can sell 450 books in a week and a half has got a hit on their hands. It's also, I would guess, Bob, on sale at your store?
Yeah, well, technically we don't actually have a store per se. It is a wholesale showroom. A lot of people assume it's a store, but it's a wholesale showroom. And the purpose of that room is for our buyers from the stores that we sell to, like Old Forge Hardware, for example. They come down on a regular basis and go through and look at the various products that we have on display. Because of where we are in the book industry, we're not a store, we are a wholesale distributor and a publisher. So we're not really a store in that regards.
Okay. The Old Forge Hardware is a great place to get regional books, is it not?
Oh, it is. They're fabulous. We are very fortunate to have a lot of stores that, while they're not bookstores per se, have made a strong commitment to the book industry, and especially to local publishing, local authors. Charlie John's in Speculators, another one. Old Forge Hardware has been a long time one. Haas's Country Corner in Long Lake, and the museums like the Adirondack Experience and the Wild Center. I can't name all of the different accounts that we sell to because there are so many and so many great ones. And we sell to stores of all sizes.
Yeah.
Some have one little shelf of books, others have an entire books section in their store.
Speaking of your showroom, it is on Lafayette, the corner of
Lafayette and Broadway,
Broadway.
right? Kitty corner from the new hospital.
Right. I was just going to
Construction.
ask you, are you in the print or in the footprint, or are you on the other side of it?
We're just outside the footprint.
Okay. So you're going to be staying there.
At the time being, that's the plan, is to stay there, and then we'll see what happens next.
And one of the ways to find out all the books in your collection, you don't have to go down there. You can look online.
That is correct. We have a very user-friendly website, and our 2020 catalog is on there, a PDF of that, along with, there's a couple of photo shoots of the new product that we brought out this year, whether ones we publish ourselves or from other publishers. During the pandemic, I couldn't go out and do sales trips. I couldn't go out and do sales calls to my customers. So my daughter got out her camera and we did a whole photo shoot of all the new titles coming out so that the customers could review those besides looking at the catalog information on the website.
What new titles off the top of your head, Bob, what new titles have you got coming out?
Well, there's a new book called Dog Hiker, Adirondacks and Catskills. Hiking with your pet is an incredibly popular pastime. And so there's a new guide for that on hikes that are friendly for your average dog, because some of them get a little too steep, a little too rocky, whatever. This is a great series. It was done by the SUNY Press in Albany, is the publisher of that. Another great new book, and actually it's a reprint, it's called Great Camps of the Adirondacks. It has been completely rewritten and rephotographed. It was a classic Adirondack title, and that just came out this spring also.
Okay, good. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, I'm going to ask you, I think I know the answer to this question, but we'll see. The most popular, best-selling book in North Country book history. Short break, right back.